All right, let's talk about a talkative class. It starts with you. Do they respect you? Have you built relationships? What do you model? So, one, do they respect you? Have you been kind to them? Do you offer them a smile at the door? Have you built relationships, gotten to know them? Do you at least know their name? The quicker you learn their names, the better. My goal is second day of school, I have everybody's names. I'm not even that good with names, but I get it. And they're always shocked. I might have the pronunciation messed up for some of them, but they at least appreciate that I'm trying and always say, correct me if I'm wrong. Say it again, say it again. They will appreciate that. What is your demeanor? There are some teachers who are dramatic. There are some teachers who have this cloud over them. Not all teachers have redeeming qualities about them, but there are some teachers that are antagonists and provoking. Are you that person? Think about it. Or are you that teacher who has a gentle spirit and is easily being walked over? Or you could be assertive. You could have some good personality. Think about how your personality and your aura could be interpreted by the students. Are you a drama queen? If you're a drama queen, you like to gossip with students, that's not going to help your classroom environment. They're going to talk and gossip too. What do you model? If you're in a faculty meeting, are you sitting in the front of the class or the media center? We usually meet in the media center. I don't know. Where do you guys meet? Are you sitting in the front of the class or the front of your room for the meeting? Or are you sitting in the back or off to the side talking the whole time? If you're talking during a faculty meeting when your principal, your leader is talking, how could you ask the same of your kids not to talk while you're talking? Okay, I'm gonna take this off. You guys know who I am. The kids got it the first try, and the teachers did too. It's awesome to see that Good Burger is still on and popping. But yes, it's character day at my school. Shout out to Keenan and Kel. All right, now some concrete tips here. Make your lessons short. After 10 minutes, they've checked out. I've checked out. My voice gets a little hoarse. I'm done. I'm over it. Some days you do have those, like I do teach AP physics sometimes. I need to cover a whole problem in a class. One problem will take 40 minutes to get through, to model it. It is what it is. But in general, make sure you create a break. Next day, I'm not talking at all. It's a lab. All right. Uh, in elementary school, when I taught an elementary class, I make being a timekeeper a job. One little person will have one of those little timers. Let me see if I got one. One of these little timers. And they will time me for 5 minutes of giving my instruction, of reading something, of explaining something, and they will look at that timer. They will not mess up. Elementary students take their jobs very seriously. And so when 5 minutes hits, then they throw up the yap sign. And then the rest of the class sees them throw up the yap sign, and you see a bunch of these. That's your signal to stop talking. Now, the reason why you want to do this, at least in elementary, is so it shows them that you respect their time, you respect them, you respect that you have a procedure, you have a routine, and they know you're only going to take 5 minutes of their time. So they're going to stop talking during that time. Same with high schoolers. I come in the room, they get their time to settle down, do the warm up. I might talk over them while they're unwrapping their Chromebooks, but I give them their time. I take attendance. Then I say, or in middle school, it might have been, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Then they say, up in here, up in here. Everybody does that now. But I was the OG, I'm just saying. I've been doing that for like decades. But anyway, So once I silence them, I say, hey, let me get your attention. I hold a hand up or whatever. I say, give me 5 minutes to explain what we need to do. Give me 10 minutes to do this lecture. Take 2 minutes to get what you need so that I can have my 10 minutes. And I also tell them during transition time, when you're getting out your materials for your lab, for your notes, this is your time to talk. Get it out now. Because just like you get distracted, I get distracted. That's another tip. I tell them, and that's real. Like I can't focus if too many people are chattering off the side. I lose my train of thought. One great piece of advice I heard was don't make work a punishment. Don't make book work a punishment because then they'll associate learning with a negative consequence. And it can really mess them up for the rest of their life. You hear people like, oh, I don't like to read because their parents might have made reading a chore, a punishment. Okay. However, I will tweak it. I'll flip it and reverse it. I would add, avoid using work as a punishment explicitly. Now, you have things that you need to accomplish in your class. But if you have a talkative group and you need a break, when they come in the next day, instead of doing labs and stations and a lecture, just tell them to open their books. After you say, hey, how are you? Tell them to open their books. We're going to do Cornell notes today and play some soft music in the background. That way it doesn't feel like a punishment, but they know something has changed, but it's not a punishment, It's not explicit. And then do that for a day or two. That way they're learning. Writing is always part of everybody's standard. And they'll get the hint and they'll quiet down. Another tip, if you're louder than my music, you're too loud. My kids know I like to jam. I play music all day. So if you're louder than my music, Miss Payne's going to be upset. I can't jam. I'm not in a good mood anymore. Okay. Another tip, I naturally have a soft voice. It doesn't seem like it because I'm still in my teacher mode because I'm in the school building. But I have a soft voice. So I understand those who are soft throughout. I had to learn how to grow my teacher voice. I literally have my tea, my water with lemon. So have something to drink, to sip on, sippy sippy. Also, speak from your stomach, not your throat, I think. Don't mess it up. Do vocal warm-ups. I know that sounds weird, but yeah. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red. Do that. Also, feel free to use a microphone. We have these little, I don't even know what it is. It's a microphone that attaches to our smart board. If you don't have that, get the kitty microphones that has the echo at Walmart for less than $20. It'll last you years. Use a karaoke machine. Come on, you're teachers. Be creative. Think outside the box. You know you have a $20 budget. What's going to make the biggest bang for your buck? So I also had a teacher pre-record his lessons when I was in school, way before, we had smart boards, Zoom, and all of that. This was the Rolly TVs. This professor would record the lessons and even record him writing for math. And then when we got in there, it was just press play. You could rewind it if you want, but it discouraged talking because you watch the video and then after the video's done, we knew we could work out the problems. And then also it saves your voice from having to talk over talkative kids. Yeah. All right. I'm approaching my limit here. Just like I said earlier, I don't want to preach too long. Amen. My 10 minutes is about up. And I'll do a part two. Comment below what are some of your tips. Maybe I'll shout you out. Bye. I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. 'Cause we're all dudes. Hey.